mistakes. Then they tried to run the ball with Anthony Miller, who promptly fumbled. It was recovered by Von Bell. It should have been a scoop and score, but the refs blew it dead. You get an impression of how this game is going. Saints leading 2-0.
There's a little bit of a disappointing
I don't know what you're talking about, Nate. Get out of my way. It's a touchdown to Josh Hill. They also had one to Taysom Hill. They could have thrown to Jonah Hill in this game, would have been open. But this is everything.
That's because the Bears are super bad.
Thank you. This is the most beautiful shot in the history of football. It's a gorgeous tracking shot. It looks like Henry Hill walking into the club in Goodfellas. Every night you do. You're in here. Cordero Patterson, gone. Okay, great play. Ran it out of the end zone. You're going to see him on the sideline screaming at Matt Nagy. I told you. Let me do my thing. And that was really the whole thing for the Bears on this day. They got a special teams touchdown. And then, guys, Teddy Bridgewater just came in and started doing what we can just call Teddy Bridgewater things. Calm, cool, collected, plenty of time in the pocket. And he's going to go to Ted Ginn for 45 yards, down inside the 5. And then one of the true friends of the show, Latavius Murray, was awesome yesterday.
They ain't lying.
I texted him after the game. I said, great job. He said, thank you. My review on the new Maleficent movie is coming. Tell the guys I said hello. And I'm not joking.
You can run on Chicago?
Everybody does it, Kay, including Taysom Hill off a fullback option pitch. Sean Payton, you glorious man. Sion Cool plays bro.
Yes.
Let's go to Taysom again. Touchdown. Guys, this one,
Look at such energy out of him.
There's your Hall of Fame quarterback who's maybe coming back next week and maybe 36-25. I can't begin to explain to you how little this score sums up how lopsided this game was.
36-10 most of the game.
36-10. And like the only thing the Saints didn't do well in this game is recover onside kicks. I'm very worked up emotionally. It was an absolute walloping. Why don't we hear from Teddy B, who was fantastic in this game?
Good Lord.
It's a great feeling being able to, come to Soldier Field and walk away with the victory. We knew that coming to this game, it was about attitude. And when you look at the scoreboard, you look at the stat sheet, you watch the tape and you see nothing but attitude from our guys. It started up front. We knew that it was going to be a physical battle. We knew how tough their defense was. We'd heard about it all week. We just knew that we had to play a physical game, and we did just that today.
They're 6-1. Unbelievable. Cam Jordan adds 2 more sacks. Khalil Mack has 0. That's 2 more than Khalil Mack in this game in Chicago. This team's impressive top to bottom. Rising to adversity, facing it, and moving on. What was the most impressive aspect of the Saints win? And we'll get to the Bears. We'll get to
the Bears. No Alvin Kamara, no Drew Brees, no Jared Cook. In the rain, on the road. You got to realize the narrative for the Saints forever has been, well, they're great in that dome, but you put them in a cold weather situation, and the Bears are coming off a bye. I mean, this was the most lopsided game of the weekend, maybe outside of Rams and Falcons. And to do that with none of your star players, it shows me that not only is Sean Payton a great coach, but they've got a really good offensive line, they've got a really deep team, and they've got a really good defense. I think this stretch, winning without Brees, is going to benefit them a lot come December and January because everyone else knows that you can put it on my shoulders and we'll find a way to win with us. What a performance. And how about our guy Latavius Murray?
Unbelievable.
Latavius Murray, who, if we're partial towards him, is because he comes on the show as a guest host and has been a guest going back to his Minnesota days.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara might be the best dual-purpose running back in the league, and he's out, and they don't miss a beat.
He ran hard, Trey.
I'm almost more impressed with this Saints victory than any of the 55-0 wins they've had in recent years where Brees throws for 1,000 yards.
You're right.
Listen, man, I wanted to talk about Michael Thomas, but I'm going to call a quick audible. As I'm listening to Teddy Bridgewater speak, the thought that he is in the position he's in right now is kind of baffling. Because you got to think about it. He had this moment in his career where he was a game manager, and he was labeled that. And then he had a beautiful preseason, shaking guys, and then we hear he has this really bad knee injury. I mean, almost grotesque. You hear people are slamming helmets and throwing up on the field. So he went from almost losing his leg to now playing himself into a position where he's going to have a chance to start in this league, whether it's with this team or somebody else. Not to mention, he's probably going to make somewhere upwards of $50 to $60 million because he looks that good. And he was running the ball yesterday to the point where when I was watching the game, I'm like, Teddy, chill out on trying to get all these first downs and fighting for extra yards. I say all that, and I'll add this at the very end. Drew Brees is sitting on the sideline, Isn't it a blessing in disguise that a guy his age can sit on the sideline and rest and not take hits while recovering from a thumb? We're not talking about a knee injury or an ankle or a shoulder, a thumb, which means when Drew Brees comes back, his shoulder's going to be healthy, his legs are going to feel great, he's going to be more refreshed than any other quarterback. I'm just saying, right now, the Saints, with that loss on the record, still might be the best team in the business.
They're a fantastic team. I think there's 2 to 3 great teams in the league. I think the Saints are one of them. It's not just what Teddy B did. It's not what the defense did. They blocked a punt. They got their hands on another punt. They had a punt return. Like, from top to bottom, the Saints are so good. And do you know how hard it is for Sean Payton to keep the team's attention year after year? You know teams tune coaches out. Do you see what's happening in Atlanta right now? They have so much talent, and they got nothing. Sean Payton is on fire, his best coaching effort ever this year. It's amazing.
Speaking of on fire, I got some highlights for you right here. How about the Texans and the Colts? And I'm going to make a bold statement at the end of these highlights, so don't you go anywhere. How about my guy, J.J. Watt, with the Jose Altuve Astros jersey? Of course, the Astros, they made the World Series, beating the Yankees in Game 6. But let's talk about Jacoby Brissett. Back of the end zone, F. Ebron, toe drag swag with the one-handed. This catch was nasty. Say what you want about Eric Ebron occasionally dropping the ball.
The hell with that. He's incredible.
He's incredible, and he makes catches like that. How about this? This is the end of the game, trying to make something happen. And Kiki Cute tries to catch the ball, but that okay. I'm not going to say anything. But that's the interception by Darius Leonard. And then the whole Colts defense, they run down and they take a picture. How about those Colts, though? 30-23 over the Texans. This was a statement win. And our very own James Palmer, he caught up with Colts wide receiver T.Y. Hilton.
Does it, take time to build with a quarterback about kind of how you go about doing some of the things that you see on defenses covering you? You get what I'm saying?
I normally come in the game and see how they play me on the first drive now. Then we make our adjustments. Me and Kobe got a good relationship where we could figure stuff out on the fly, so it's really cool like that.
He's a good person.
Did a fantasy face-off. Kyle, you agreed with me, T.Y. against the Texans. Like, he's just the mayor.
Yeah, he's one of the owners
Houston.
of
He
the
does
team.
it. So when he was doing this, it was, and water is wet, and the sky is blue,
Yeah.
and T.Y. scores touchdowns against the Texans. But let's talk about where credit is due and Jacoby Brissett. What did we think about this battle royale yesterday?
Jacoby Brissett looks like a franchise quarterback. And let's bring it to the table. I remember the post-Luck show. Andrew Luck walks away, our first show after that. And I'm like, well, it's the Texans. The Texans in the AFC South, they have to. And it wasn't anti-Colts, it was just pro-Luck. And I remember Peter sitting over there, and you were pounding the table for Reich and Brissett and the Colts. And I'm like, it must be fun to be on the Colts side. And you're like, yeah, it is. You should come on over. You really should. The water's warm over here.
Get over here.
And I regret it, because they're right. They're in first place. They just beat them. And there's no reason Houston should not take over the division this year. This was the year. And yet here we are, and the Indianapolis Colts are in first place. Peter, you were right. I was wrong.
Well, I appreciate that, but it
I was wrong.
has nothing to do with me.
Yes, it does.
It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with everything about those guys in blue. And Brissett, I said it when it happened with Luck. I said it because all the Colts people would rave about Brissett as such a charismatic leader and what he did. He could also play football. He was really good last night. It wasn't just smiling and charisma and Belichick way. Like 4 touchdown passes, no picks, and outplayed Deshaun Watson. Ooh. Jacoby Brissett was awesome. That team is as well coached as any in the league. It has a deeper roster as any team in the league. And Jacoby Brissett, Nate, you might go one further on this, but he might be as good as any quarterback in the league right now. What do you got?
Well, listen, you say he might be as good as any other quarterback, and you say Jacoby Brissett looks like a franchise player. You throw for 4 touchdowns, 320. After Andrew Luck retiring, you make your team as relevant as ever. Jacoby Brissett could end up being our MVP.
Okay,
if he continues this pace. I know it sounds crazy, and it's one of those teams that they're in a small market, so we're not giving them the credit they deserve. He continues this streak and plays like this, we'll be mentioning him with Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. It'll be Jacoby Brissett in that conversation as well. He's playing like
Is he in it right now?
Yes, they're 4-2. The team is relevant, and they're as scary as ever. Oh, and not to mention, like you said, Shrakes, the guy can play quarterback.
So are you willing to say that if he keeps playing like this, they can challenge the banged-up Chiefs for a first round bye? Because let me tell you their schedule the next day. They're going to be in the driver's seat.
They beat a healthy Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Next 3 weeks, Broncos at Steelers and Dolphins. Are they? Because I'm just waiting for that team to step up and challenge the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Playing like this, they could challenge the Patriots, Kevin. And that's real talk.
Brissett versus Brady.
Absolutely beautiful.
Brissett beat Mahomes.
The fedoras, the glory.
And Garoppolo's there too.
We got to talk about Kirk Cousins. You had a little tough love for your boy.
Yeah, and look what he did.